Okay. Tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, and what life looked like before we started working together.
Okay, so I'm Naveen. I am a mom of three children, five and under. I'm also newly qualified as a teacher. I've been in education for so many years, but finally qualified. Yeah, and I started Pastel, I'm sort of all over the place in terms of my own health, my mental health, my physical health, mental health, well-being, all that. It was just, I had all these ideas of what I wanted my life to look like and what I wanted for myself. And I suppose I never really knew how to start it. And relied heavily on people around me. So if people around me were more into journaling or their fitness, then I would sort of follow suit. And once we sort of didn't hang out as much, I would just go back to not doing it and not being motivated, I suppose. So yeah, I remember speaking to people at school when you started Pastel, or officially started, I suppose. Pastel, and I was like, right now, I'm just, you know what, I want a coach that I know, I want a coach that knows me personally outside of the fitness world, outside of the program. So my sister, I think you know this, my sister is actually a nutritional consultant and she does a lot in fitness, but I was like, I can't do it with my sister because I'm too comfortable, because I won't hold on the same accountability. And she actually said the same thing. She's like, I'd never take you on as a client because we'd be too comfortable with each other and you wouldn't take it as seriously as if you did it with someone else. So I was like, right, I'm going to do it with Kat. And I remember when we first started, I felt like I was doing really well. And I think I was just in that mind frame of I want to actually better myself for my girls, you know, to show them the importance of health and fitness and eating better and journaling and, you know, having those emotions, but allowing yourself to move on from those emotions. And then I fell pregnant again. And then we started it all over again.
Yeah, we did. We had a few months break, and then when you were ready again, we then picked it back up. But because you were one of my very first clients, and then you were with me, I think, for 4 months, and then we had a break,
Yeah.
and we picked it up again last year, didn't we? It was June, like
Yeah.
May.
After my maternity leave. I just was saying like the first couple months were really difficult because I don't think I was even on track with anything. And I think I was just, part of me thinks that starting that early was a detriment to myself, but I also knew in the back of my head if I didn't start then, I would not have started. Because you're also leaving, you left, so I
I
needed to start before
know.
you left.
I
So I
mean,
was like,
I was there for a couple of months.
yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know. We
And I
had
was like,
May and
I
June, didn't
knew.
we?
Yeah, in my head, I knew if I don't start while Kat's still in Oman, I just won't. I won't start, and I know I'll push it forward and I'll keep kicking the ball. But I'm like, no, she's here. She's going to kill me. She'll get me on track before she leaves. And then you came back to Muscat. When was that? Is that September?
That
No.
It was November, I think.
Yes, I think it was November because you got married in August, which is
Yes.
mental. It's a year. It's almost a year.
It's been a
Just absolutely.
crazy year. I know, it's nuts. It's wild. Absolutely wild. But yeah, and then that was
Yeah,
August, and then
yeah.
September, October. Yeah, November. It was beginning of November I
November.
came back to
Yeah, and I remember thinking she's gonna be back in Oman. I need to get my ass in gear. I need to. I need to. Sort of. I cannot face cat if I did not do anything for my own.
You lost like 5 kg in the first few months. Like you were
Yeah,
smashing it. Because I remember you put a message in the group chat just being like, by the way, I just want to say I'm feeling really proud of myself. And you shared all of your wins, but
yeah,
you smashed it. You've done so well. And I feel like sometimes you can be quite hard on yourself, which
yeah.
I've told you before. But
Mm.
yes, again, it's just that extra layer of accountability, I guess, with in the back of your mind, you know that I was then coming back to Oman. So
It's like,
yeah, just
I need to. I cannot keep making excuses. And I think when I switched from a home gym, because we have everything at home, the weights, the machine, whatever. Obviously not except as a gym, but I could do the workouts at home. But I think once I made that choice to just go to a gym, it really helped me because it became more about me rather than just ticking the box and doing the workouts. So I picked the most expensive gym in Amman and decided, right, I'm paying an absolute fortune, but it's a great gym. So, but I was like, in my head, I knew that like at home, it was, I need to get the workout done. So I'd do a rep of something or I'd do one exercise and I'd stop and I'd get distracted with one kid or the other or someone's calling me or whatever. Whereas at the gym, I don't have those distractions. So it became more about me as opposed to just ticking off the workout. So I think that really, really helped. I think that was at Christmas break. And I just was like, right, it made me feel so much better. It made me feel more accountable. So I genuinely believe that was the best decision for myself, because I'm now carrying on with that gym. It's not like I've stopped that subscription. I still keep going. And even now when we're going to Thailand tonight, obviously. And even now I was like, right, we find an apartment. I need to make sure that it has a gym. Just so I can get out, do an hour, come back in. And my old me would not care. Just be like, I'm on holiday. Let's just do what we want. And it's quite funny because we're taking an apartment, but in the apartment, it's like a fully equipped kitchen as well. So I was like, right, where's the closest grocery store? Because not because of anything else, but I was like, if I can control what I'm having, at least for breakfast, then the rest of the day I feel a little bit better for myself. And again, old me would not care. Just eat what you want. You're on holiday, enjoy it. But I think that's one big thing that I've learned, aside from being consistent, is understanding that it's okay to have cheat meals. But they shouldn't be cheat meals. They should just be enjoy what you're eating, but also be accountable of what you're eating. But not actually realizing that just made me feel like shit the next day because I'd feel really lazy and just tired. But yeah, old me would not care. Absolutely not care where I'm staying. Like, I was like, let's go to a hotel. Let's make it really easy. Don't care about the gym. Don't care about the nutrition. Whereas now I'm more conscious of that. I'm more conscious of what I'm putting into my body. And then I think I've said this to you so many times. For me, the gym was about my mental health. It was about just stripping it back and just being vulnerable in the gym and having that release and having that workout really helped me then be a better version of myself for my friends, for my family, So yeah, I think that was a huge part of why I am, I think, happier today. And so, yeah, down to you, Kat.
No, you have honestly worked so hard. I cannot take full credit whatsoever. It's absolutely teamwork with this. But yeah, I think as well, what you were saying, it's really nice to hear because it's like you're continuing the habits of what you know works really well from term into then the holidays, because the summer holidays can be really difficult to navigate. But it's now the structure and you're carrying on that structure over into the summer, which is really nice to hear. But yeah, like you said, old you wouldn't have done that. And now this new version, like you're going to be training and you're going to be thinking about your breakfast and intentionally eating, better quality food. So I love that. What would you say were the biggest things that you were struggling with at the time? Like before reaching out to me the first time round, like what were the biggest things that you were struggling with at the time?
Weight fluctuation. Obviously, I know I've had, 3 kids at that point, 2 kids. Weight fluctuation was a massive deal. But also I think it was TMI, hormonal changes, period changes, all of those things really made an effect. And because my hormones and my period weren't regular, it affected how my body was, how my body reacted. It was the bloating and things like that. So that was like the fitness side or physical side of things that I was really struggling with. And then the other side of it was a lot of my mental health because I wasn't happy in the way I looked. I just was not happy everywhere else. And I'd blame it on everything else. I'd blame it on having children. I'd blame it on, us eating out more, or I'd blame it on everything else except myself. And I think those were the two biggest things that I struggled with, was my own self-image and my own weight fluctuation. So this program helped me sort of navigate that as well. And it wasn't always easy, it wasn't always perfect or linear or any of those things, but it did help me navigate those and accept that, some days are going to be crap and that's okay. I don't have to focus in on that and hone in on that, which helped me then overcome those things and really helped me in my PGCE year.
Yeah, I think now that you've done that, that is a huge weight off of your shoulders. Yeah. And come August, September, I'm excited for you because you're not going to have all the other stuff as well. You can focus more on the teaching side of things, which is exciting. Yeah. And then did anything specific trigger you to finally then wanting to make a change? Like what was the moment where you were like, I need to do something, I need to make a change and reach out?
Actually, I've never actually told you this, but it was a conversation with you. And it had nothing to do with Pastel. It wasn't even a conversation about health or eating habits. It was more about the change that you saw in yourself when you prioritizing yourself in that last year of when you were in school. Now, the first time around, it was slightly different. It was more superficial that I just wanted to lose weight and all that. But when it was the second time around that I decided to come back to the program, it was a conversation that I had with you. And it was one of these random conversations we had in your classroom potentially. And it was just like that you felt like that year you had focused on yourself a lot more. And so you were happier. And although you had enjoyed all the things that you've experienced in Oman, the year that you chose yourself, it became a lot easier. And it was that very small conversation that sort of made me kind of rethink and reevaluate what I'm doing, and constantly like trying to please everyone else and like doing the social thing, doing all that. So that was the random conversation that sort of pushed me back into pastel.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, but I think it probably was in the drama studio, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Many chats in that drama studio have
Many
been had.
chats. Although Astrid,
What made you reach out to me specifically and then not just another coach? Like, I know you mentioned that it's because you knew me,
yeah,
but is there any
I,
other reasons?
it was more so like obviously I knew you, but your personality. The fact that I can be vulnerable with you and I can have my shit days with you, and yes, we'll make jokes about, oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me, but at the same time, you'll be there as a listening ear, and you're not always trying to correct the mistakes or the fallbacks or anything like that. You're just trying to get me to think about how I can improve it and how I can change it and what I can do, as opposed to always being the corrector. And I don't know if that's a teacher in you or if that's just your personality, but it was for me, it was more so, yeah, the personality. And I think that was really important because I think when you're doing one of these programs, you're really vulnerable with your coach. And I had always wanted somebody that I can be really like just really low and really high with. And I felt like it was you. We've always had like our conversation had always been really easy, but I don't think we've ever had like superficial conversations. And even before Pastel, I mean, just in work, we never had like just superficial conversations. It was always had meaning, and it was always like I felt like I could go to you for things about work, things about my personal life, and it was always an easy sort of conversation. And whenever I think of you, I'm like, oh, she's just like an aura of a person that just glows and makes things easier. And obviously I know like you've gone through your own hardships and you've done all that, but you've never projected that negativity on anyone else, which is what I needed.
Oh, I love that. When you said about glowing, that just made me laugh because I got so sunburnt the other day. I was like, I really was glowing the other day. My sunburn was so bad. It was so sore. Literally caked on the aloe vera. And then, like, this is a question actually, which I don't know if you've had. Did you have any hesitations before starting?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I did. I just felt like how can I do it? How can I balance life, work, being a mom, and all the expectations of like everyday expectations like cleaning up the house, laundry, cooking, and then like will I actually have time to go to the gym? Am I just joining the program for the sake of it? Like will I actually be able to do it? And I think those things, to be honest, there's still days today like I like think about, do I actually have the time? Am I just wasting my time? Like should I be doing something else? But particularly at the start, it was always like, well, what am I doing here? Like, I'm never going to be able to go to the gym. I'm never going to be able to do something for myself. And once I was able to shift that mindset and to think, well, this makes me a better mom. This makes me a better person. This makes me a better version of myself. And it became more about like not pleasing myself, but it became more part of my day, part of my life. Like, this is just another thing I do. I go to work, I cook and I clean and I journal and I go to the gym and I make sure that our families better fed by having better meals, and it just became part of life as opposed to an extra.
That goes on really nicely with like the next question as well was like, were there any light bulb moments, any mindset shifts, habits, or like small wins that have now had a big impact?
Yeah, so just that, like, to be honest, it was shifting that mindset of going to the gym is not a luxury. It is part of my day. It is not something that extra that I get to do. It's just a natural part of my life. And once I kind of wrapped my head around that aspect, it just made it like it was a conversation. I don't know who I'm speaking to, but I had a conversation with someone and they kind of sort of asked me like, why do you put so much effort into going to the gym? Like you don't put this much effort for getting up and going to work, because that you just know you have to do that and it's just part of your day. No matter what, you have to go to work. And that sort of shifted my mindset. I'm like, yeah, actually it's just part of my day. If I just make it and I stick to the days that I say that I'm going to the gym, if something happens on that day, well, so be it. It happens. And I still have to do this because this is pre-planned. This is part of my day. And that sort of shift really helped me. And that went hand in hand with the food. I meal prep for the family on a Saturday. And once that just became part of our Saturday routine, get the groceries, meal prep, it just became part of life. And that mind shift really helped me because it wasn't like a big task. It was just a task that I do.
And you've had some really big like mindset shifts, but then as well, what kind of physical changes have you seen? Like this could be certain timelines, it could be like weight, it could be measurements, visible differences. What would you say have been the biggest physical changes that you've seen?
Just being able to fit into pre-pregnancy clothes, pre-baby clothes, has been a big, big change. But physically, I feel like look happier, I look healthier. But yeah, being able to fit in clothes that I wore a dress that I bought when I was 20 and I put it on and I'm like, oh my God, it fits.
I
And
know.
I don't look like I'm stretching all the threads on it. This is amazing. So those
You
physical
looked
changes,
incredible in that
that
dress,
I
by the way.
absolutely look like I've lost weight. I mean, I've had in the last couple months in particular at school, so many people have said to me, oh, you've lost a lot of weight. And I'm always like, right, do you know what? Contact Kat. You want to change your habits of life, contact Kat. And it purely is because I genuinely feel like if I had tried to go on this journey on my own, I would not have achieved what I've achieved now. Because it isn't like, yes, the physical changes are massive, but it's not just the physical changes that changed. And because my mindset changed, my physical body changed as well. So I do think those two things went hand in hand. But yeah, being able to fit in my clothes from my 20s has been amazing.
I know. Your dress looked incredible. That black dress, I was like, yes, it looked awesome, like absolutely insane.
I sent that picture to everyone, to you, my sisters, and James. Like, I was like, right, guys, like, can we just all take note of the fact that I'm wearing a dress from when I was in my 20s?
If someone's watching this and they're in the position that you were in, if that was last year or the year before when you reached out, not feeling confident or maybe not knowing where to start or what to do, what would you say to them?
I would say just start. Because that's where I was. I didn't know where to start or how to start, I suppose. And it was just start, just do it, because you're never going to learn how to do it. You're never going to be in the right area to do it unless you start doing it. I think it's so funny, but I think like going to the gym was so intimidating for me because I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing here. Everyone like looks like they know exactly what they're doing. They look like they go to the gym, and here I am like completely out of place. And with all due respect, no one gives a crap about what you look like or what you're doing in the gym because everyone's focused on their own thing. No one actually cares. So I think those are the two things I'd say to anyone that's wanting to start but might be a bit hesitant. Just start it.
Absolutely. And then who do you think that this coaching would be perfect for?
To be honest, I know like a lot of teachers join your program, but I genuinely would say moms, like any moms out there. And purely because I find that in teaching, we have to balance 10,000 different things. And as a mom, you have to balance 10,000 different things. You have to prioritize a million things. So I think that this program teaches people and how to do that. And wherever you are in your stage of life, I think that you can benefit from this program. If I had to pick like a group of people, I would say moms as well. But genuinely, I think like now that I'm actually thinking about the question, I think anyone that struggles with their mental health, anyone that struggles with going to the gym or struggles with food habits or understanding food habits, I think this program is brilliant for that because you have that platform. You have ladies that come from all over the world who have different diets and different, preferences in food, but the goal is always the same. It's just having better quality food. And then it's the same with the gym aspect. You've got people on there who have potentially been really, really athletic in their younger days and then kind of lost track, or those who are just starting. And you have everything in between as well. So I think for me, that group chat is absolutely amazing. And wherever you are on your journey, that will support you. If nothing else, if nothing else will help you, that group chat will help you. So I think it's a tough question, but I do think it's anyone that wants to better themselves. And that could be mentally, physically, or emotionally. This is the program for you. I said moms, but I'm thinking like really just ladies that want to find themselves again. Because I genuinely think that as a lady, there's so much pressure on looking a certain way or being a certain way. And the pressure is just ridiculous. So I think that, if you can find a group of ladies that support you, you're winning.
I love as well that there's so many different places where everyone's from. It's really nice to see that everyone's connecting from literally all over the world, and it's a nice balance as well of teachers in the UK but also like international teachers. But it's really nice that there's ladies in the group chat, that you've got that place to share the highs, the lows, and just the day-to-day stuff as well. So no, Naveen, you've been absolutely amazing, and you've literally been like an OG with Pastel. Thank you. You've been absolutely amazing. I've loved working with you, and you've been bloody wonderful. I'm going to miss you so much, but I know that you are you're good to go and you're ready
Oh, I'm gonna
to,
miss you too.
yeah, to fly the nest. You're ready for it. But yeah, you've honestly been absolutely
Ah,
incredible. So thank you so much.
no problem. My favorite bit of the staff, the group chat is the memes, the weekly memes. How's your week going? I think those are absolutely hilarious because I think all of us, like, there's different times where we're all on a high, and then everyone's memes are like really exciting. And then it comes to like the end of tournament, everyone's like slow as a sloth, and everyone's memes are quite similar. I think those are absolutely hilarious. I love them. It is literally the highlight of my
I
week.
know.
I'm like, right, how's everyone else's week getting on?
I know. It's so good. I literally love the descriptions as well. It's like the best part. They're honestly so funny.